and welcome to Top Fives, the show of everything. Top Fives, presented by the Sex Effects. I'm Joey Parati.
And I'm Sean Day.
And folks, we have a game-centric show in store for you this evening. It's going to be a rip-roaring good time. But before we get to all the rip-roaring good times, Jonathan, how are you doing today, my friend?
Rip-roaring, I like that, dude.
Rip-roaring, not rip-torn.
Rip-roaring.
R.I.P. Rip-roaring.
Joey, I'm doing good. We were just discussing off air how much of a good time we had seeing each other this weekend or this last weekend.
In the nude.
In the nude. We had a band rehearsal on Friday, so I came up to you guys and we rehearsed some music for our upcoming show next month at the Monarch in SF. August
26th, 10 p.m.
26, 10 p.m. Yeah, Blind Issues. Let's go. Yeah, that was super fun, dude. It was great playing. I mean, it's always great jamming with you guys because we just have so much fun playing, and I always feel like
chemistry.
It's like chemistry.
There's biology there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always feel like I wouldn't say we surprise ourselves, but we're always like we play through like a few songs and we're like, yeah, that sounded pretty good.
I'll say it. We surprised me Friday night because now that I'm in a studio apartment, I'm not like, before I was in the house in the sunset and I could kind of play as loud as I wanted to.
Yeah.
Can't do that here. You know what I mean? So I can't jam. I can't play through, especially our songs on the acoustic, So I was really it's been a year and, we practiced and recorded it back in November, but we haven't played a show since February 2020.
Yes.
So I've been a little nerve, but you know what? Those were all put to. I thought we were as tight as almost we've ever been. I think.
I think it sounded pretty.
It's like riding a bicycle.
Pretty freaking good, dude. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not bad. So that was a great time. That was
good, man. That was good. And then Saturday we celebrated your mom's. Your mom celebrated her birthday earlier in the week, but we had a little surprise party, I guess, for your mom, which was really cool. Got to see some of your family that I haven't seen in a minute, like usually the Easter family crowd,
crew.
I'd say, the Easter crew.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
It was a good time. It was a very good time.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming.
And your mom was like, she was obviously super emotional, and obviously you guys did it. I mean, the organization was on point, dude. So yeah, it sounded really good, man.
It was. It all came together. But yeah, it was a great time, and got to meet Odalis, which was great.
Yeah,
that was wonderful. Enjoyed that so much. And yeah, so like we celebrated my mom's actual birthday on Thursday,
right? Yeah.
We went and had Chevys. What?
Chevys.
But you know what? Those fajitas were pretty tight. They're pretty good.
Hey, there you go.
The margarita wasn't bad either. And then, Friday we had the band practice, and Saturday we took the whole family, my mom, my dad, my brother, our girls, my mom's two brothers and their wives, and then the O'Connors. We went to Joe's of Westlake and had a meal there, and then she was like, all right, everyone just come back for a drink, and then surprise, it was a good one, dude. It was so great. Got to see so many people I haven't seen in so long. My cousin Jesse, I don't think I've seen since before the pandemic, and he's had a baby since then, so I got to meet little Mateo, or my first, my grandma, my nana's first great grandson, you know what I mean? Like it's so cool. But yeah, wonderful time. What a wonderful time.
It was good, man. It was a good time, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I was also, having a few drinks and talking, trying to talk. I was like talking to your dad for a little bit. I was talking to your mom for a little bit. Just kind of, trying to get some Mike Day stories out of my dad.
That's always a noble quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I keep telling Odalis, I'm like, yeah, my dad's full of crazy stories, and we've heard a few of them, and I'm sure there's many that we've never heard. So
you don't want her to hear those just yet.
Yes, there are a few that are like a little too wild, but
a little wild.
But yeah, it was a fun time, man, and I'm excited to like come up and see you guys again, and obviously, yeah, we all I mean, I'm hoping most of us were vaccinated, so we were playing it safe too as well. And yeah, it's just good to see your
We were all
family,
vaxxed.
man.
Yeah.
It's good to see the fam. So, but
It
yeah,
was okay.
it was
Yeah.
okay.
Right on.
But that's
Well, very good.
yeah, that's kind of like it, man. And then I got back on Sunday, and then just working, dude. That's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy as of yet. So
Right on.
yeah,
Well, that's very good.
yeah. How about you, Joe?
Fucking
How's stuff with you, man? How's
yes.
everything with you?
I mean, it's been good. So Saturday before we met my parents up at Joe's, we clandestinely ran to Safeway, and I had to get 4 bags of ice for the party. And I was running. I was trying to be real quick about it. Excuse me. And there are these big bags of ice, and I was being quick, and I grabbed 4 of them, and I ran out to the car, and I pinched something like in my chest area.
Oh, okay.
So when I woke up Sunday, it woke me up, the pain, because every time I took a breath, I felt it. And then I went onto I rolled onto my back, and that hurt even more.
Oh shit.
So I was
Okay.
kind of down for the count Sunday and Monday, but I'm feeling a lot better today.
That's good.
So
That's good.
yeah. And I gotten a ton done on my script. I forget what I had, like a really just I went for it. I had one night that I wrote like almost 20 pages, and I just had a few more left to do. So Sunday at some point I was able to I finished my latest screenplay with the zero draft of what I
Oh,
call
okay.
it. So
Zero draft. Okay.
my zero draft. So I'm very excited. Yeah. The longer it went on, the more I felt I knew my characters and had their voice down, and by the end I was like really enjoying it. So because it can be really tough when you're staring at the blank page to just get something onto it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the hardest part. And then you can edit from there, and it's a lot easier, but that initial run can be very daunting. And it was.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end I was having a blast. So
Hey, yeah. Okay, cool, dude. Got some work done. That's good.
Yeah.
That's always
Yeah.
good and fulfilling too, especially for maybe how it could be a lot to like finish it or put it together and
yeah. I haven't been hit with the postpartum depression just yet. That'll come after the first draft.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you ever have like long projects that you're working on and then you get really sad once they're all done?
Yeah. Yes and no. Earlier on, it was like that because you get so invested in it, and then recently a lot of the stuff I've been working on, it's kind of like we're like pitching for TV shows or stuff that, and we don't know if they're gonna land or not. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
some of them are just like, I think as you get more efficient at it, like you maybe spend less time with it, which can be kind of nice because then you can hop onto the next project or whatever. But there are some projects like you're just kind of like like I would say even our blind issue stuff like Circus Witch, even though I didn't spend like compared to like previous maybe stuff we've done with blind issues or the pilots, I didn't spend as much time on it. And then maybe that comes with just like getting better at or more efficient at it and getting better at like, oh, this is the sound I want, like, and we'll go for it.
Yeah.
But I totally get that. So
because there is spending too much time. That is a possibility.
Yeah, there's that.
And then
too.
yeah.
I think it's good to spend your time with something, but also step away from it and like come back to it, and or if you do have a chance to complete it and then complete it in that I know it might be a little different because you're kind of working on you're kind of have the zero draft now, so you're kind of going to go back in and maybe move some things around, but at least you have the initial draft idea, right? Like you have the initial
Yes.
idea. So yeah, I don't know. It's different per project, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like these days it's like the more time I spend on it, the less passionate I feel about the song. Honestly, because it's like, dude,
well, that's
the idea's
fair.
down
That's
and it's done. It's like for me, like, and maybe and I've worked with people who want to continue like working on it, and it's like we already have something great here. Why do you want to keep adding to something? And in that case, it's like just save that energy for like the next projects. So I've been in situations like that, I guess, where it's like, yeah, I feel confident in the project and the song that I created, and I think that's as far as I can take it, unless you put it in the hands of someone else, you know. But that's kind of my feeling on it. Yeah, I don't know.
Right on.
Some things are
Yeah.
work in progress. Sometimes you just gotta be like, yeah, that's it. Part ways with it. Let it live.
You've got to kill the darlings.
Kill the darlings. I've never heard that expression before.
You've never heard that?
No.
You gotta kill your babies.
Oh, okay. I see that. Kill your babies.
And darlings, you can interchange either word.
Kill your darlings, kill your babies, y'all.
Yeah. People are like, what the this
the
is not
fuck
a
are
true
these guys
crime
talking
podcast.
about?
What am I tuning into right now? We're talking about process, kids, and
Process.
craft.
Killing your crafts.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna switch gears. Joey, did you see
Yes, please.
the Jackass Forever trailer? Because I just watched it this morning.
I have not seen that. How was it?
It was actually good. It is missing Bam Margera, and I
Yeah.
know there's some kind of background stuff with that.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I feel like this is kind of what people need right now. Like, if anything, it looks like it's the same old kind of Jackass stuff. Like the format's kind of the same, and I don't mind that. I'm just there to watch some wild stunts from the OG, like, you know, Jackass crew or whatever. And it's kind of crazy to think, like, shit, we've been following the Jackass crew since like the early days. I mean, I remember when you introduced me like CKY.
20 years.
Dude, I know, it's insane. How long it's been going on.
CKY2K is the best piece of any of that kind of content.
I almost want to try to find that somewhere, and I don't know if you have to order like a DVD still for that, or you can stream it somewhere. But
I think I have the DVD of it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be fun. They have
Look
some
that
like, you know, some I think they have like more celebrity / like guest appearances in there, but it's this the kind of thing you think it is.
I like that.
Well, they're playing like pranks on him as well while they're thinking they're shooting like a Jackass stunt. So I think that's like the funny part about it. But yeah. Sorry.
Now, I never saw. I don't know that I saw Jackass 2, but I watched Jackass 3D, and I didn't like it as much because they weren't messing with just regular people on the street.
Yeah. That's the part where it gets.
They were all just messing with each other, and I was like,
Yeah. I think the big likeness for Jackass has always been like public stunts. Like, no one is aware of what they're doing, and it's funny to us because we're the ones cued in on the joke or whatever, or the stunt. Some of the early like Jackass TV show stunts were like just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, just I am excited though to see this movie. And I think it's going to be in like theaters and stuff. Sorry, our video's a little choppy. Hopefully it's not as bad.
It is.
I think in a week or two, my whole house is upgrading to fiber optic internet. So hopefully we'll have like some fast, hopefully we'll have some faster internet in the next few weeks. But yeah, we're
I
all
keep
of us in
getting
the
an
house.
email from Sonic being like, this month. Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nope. Sorry, guys.
There's definite lag tonight. There's definitely lag.
It's cool. Yeah. Sorry. It says unstable. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how it goes.
In the meantime, I'll just say that you can get the CKY movies on DVD used.
Ooh.
And I don't want to say where. You can get them used on fucking Amazon.
On Amazon. Okay.
I don't want to give that dude any more money. Did you see that laugh when he came back from space?
Oh no.
He went full Dr. Evil.
For real?
They're like, "Oh, do you want to go further out into the cosmos?" And he went, oh hell yeah. And he just starts laughing and he keeps
What?
laughing. It's like, and you would think that he had the pinky out. Ooh, moo ha ha
What
ha,
the
moo
fuck?
ha ha.
Okay.
Like it was wild. But he
Yeah.
was fucking crazy. Anyway,
Yeah, that guy is too rich, man. um
too rich.
yeah. Yeah, I thought that whole thing
Yeah.
is it's so crazy cuz like in the last like this last month it's been like Jeff Bezos and like what's his name? The guy for Virgin?
From Virgin, right? Is it
Yeah.
Richard Bronson?
Bronson? Yeah.
Is that him?
Which they're all claiming that they are
Yeah.
like in space, but they're not necessarily skimming this. Like they're not above the technically what space is.
Right. Like they aren't going through, are they going through, are they breaking the ozone? They're basically, from my understanding, it's like when they filmed Apollo 13. They flew up really, really, really high to lose gravity for some of the scenes in the movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like where they're at.
But
They're
they were
not.
still in our orbit. They didn't go to
Yeah,
space,
yeah,
you know?
um, yeah. I don't know, man. That whole space race thing, and it's just like who can afford? I mean, yeah, there's millionaires.
Obviously, who can afford
There's
the dude
millionaires that
whose
can afford this.
wealth, he made what, 17 billion off of us during the pandemic?
That's so crazy, man. How
Is
much
that how
money?
much his wealth increased by? Like what?
What? That's like ridiculous money,
Shit's
man.
crazy.
What do you do with
Shit's
that much money, dude?
crazy. You know, you could buy several small countries with that kind of cash. You could, you know, as they say, you could solve world hunger. Not that I don't think you couldn't buy enough food for everyone, but how do you get it to people? I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think it's as easy as just buying Lunchables for everybody. But
Yeah.
yes, you could set up farms and, you know, self-sustaining spaces for food productivity. Yeah, what am I saying? Of course you could solve world hunger. That piece of shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. There was another trailer that released. Excuse me. I'm having a high noon. You
Oh no.
inspired me. Our
Ooh,
last
yeah,
episode.
dude. Drinking an Ace pineapple and
Watermelon.
some cider today.
Ooh.
Mmm.
Very British of you. Actually, fun fact, cider was the drink of the revolutionaries. I mean, I'm
Ah.
sure they had cider before that, but that's mainly what Americans drank during the
Because
revolution. It was like rum and cider.
hey, this is good. I
Hey.
do like
Anyway.
pineapple.
um, this is fun sometimes because, you know, we've been getting very comfortable with our format and everything. So good. Bring on a little lag. Keep us on our toes a little
Oh
bit. You
yeah,
know what I
dude.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's a
we got to
little,
really just,
it's a little
yeah,
laggy, but whatever.
yeah. You got to be flexible. Did you see the Ghostbusters trailer today?
I did not see. I know that's like the second one that they released or whatever,
Is it? Well, they released a teaser
or
like
teaser.
years ago,
Yeah, I
but they
remember seeing
released a
that one.
full trailer today.
Okay, I have not seen that one,
Um,
but I have seen it in my feed, so I'm gonna check it out probably later, maybe after this.
it basically looks like Stranger Things. Like tone
Oh,
wise, it does not
really?
look like any of the Ghostbusters that came before. I was a little perplexed, honestly. And they used the one kid from Stranger Things who was in it, and it
Yeah.
felt like Stranger Things. So I'm just like, I
Uh,
don't need fucking, because that's what it's going to be. These big movies are going to be kid focused. They're going to be studios are going to be going after the feeling of Stranger Things and Ada's nostalgia and all that.
yeah. Okay.
Um, but I don't know. It was whatever. It would have been cool for a second if it wasn't a Ghostbusters, but because it was Ghostbusters, like, where's the comedy? Where's the humor? Where's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's only a
Yeah.
2 minute trailer. I can't be judging it this hard because they haven't shown us everything yet, but it felt very off to me. Um,
Okay.
it felt like it had the weight of its own legacy. Where it's
Yeah.
like you watch those movies and they're great movies, but they're, well, the first one, but they're kind of, you know, they're, they're comedies. They're, you know, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd comedies. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I've got the same feeling, especially when they had the other Ghostbusters movie. I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm just over like just leave it alone, man.
Just
Like
leave it alone. Well, it's IP. You've already have a built-in audience, and of course those guys are going to buy that. You know what I mean? And it's interesting. It's like there's only that market for movies. Like, and there's not really that for music. You know what I mean? Unless you get into like reissues and re-releases, but
Yeah.
an artist is an artist, and they come and they go, and you can't, you know, if you can't do a Frank Sinatra album without him. You know what I mean? Like that,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
IP, or Elvis is a good example.
Hmm.
You can make Elvis movies, T-shirts, but blah, 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 but you can't make any more Elvis music.
Yeah. Yeah. You
You know what I
can't
mean?
at all. No, I agree,
Yeah.
man. I'm curious to watch the trailer and see again kind of the tone they're going for with this one. I remember Paul Rudd was in it. Is Paul Rudd in it?
He's in it, and fuck, what's her name? The Carrie something. She's in The Leftovers. I really love The Leftovers. I still need to watch the last season. The second was so good though.
Let me
Carrie
search
Coon.
this up.
She is, I
Carrie Coon.
believe, that was her in the Ghostbusters.
Okay.
But
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
yes, Ghostbusters Afterlife. She plays Callie.
Callie.
Her
Okay.
name is Carrie.
Okay.
She's like,
Okay.
look, I want it to be like me, but with the R's as L's. And they said, okay, we'll do that.
Okay. Interesting.
What?
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not like super stoked on it. I am curious. I mean, obviously, this is kind of the make or break. I feel for like Ghostbusters, as far as continuing it, because the last one didn't do
Yes.
that well.
Well, the
So
last one was completely divorced from the main timeline or main universe or whatever, where this
yeah,
one is like a direct sequel to the first two, I believe.
gotcha. So it will mention some of the previous characters in there. Actually, if I'm not
I don't
mistaken,
want to give away something in the trailer, but yes.
I think like one of the grandfathers is like they're like one of the characters. They're like related to one of the Ghostbusters characters, right, or something like that.
I am not sure the connection, and I'm not gonna spoil the teaser for you because it's
Okay.
like at the very end, and I'm not gonna
Okay.
tell you what
Gotcha.
to look for. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Um.
Yeah, I'll end up
But
watching. I'll
but
watch that
yeah,
after the podcast, man. I'll check it out because I am getting excited to go back to the movies. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's this is nothing I'm really excited to watch right now, though. You know?
there's nothing. There's fucking nothing. I want to go to the movies so bad, and there's nothing in theaters that I want to see. I'm kind of looking forward to Time or No Time to Die,
Oh, yeah, James
because it's
Bond.
Cary Fukunaga. I
Yeah,
believe it's Cary Fukunaga. Um, it's going to be Daniel Craig's send off. I mean, Spectre was pretty
yeah, it
fucking
was.
boring,
Yeah,
but this one does not look boring. This one looked cool. Hopefully, we got another Skyfall in our hands. I don't know,
yeah, dude.
but
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of tough right now for the movie stuff. Like, I mean, you're right. Like, even is it the Suicide Squad movie is coming out? But I'm like, oh, I can watch it on HBO Max.
yeah, like peace and love. I don't really want to. That I don't want fucking Suicide Squad to be my first movie back to the theater. Like it almost
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
I'm putting more too much weight on this return to the theater, but like I went out on 1917. So like
yeah,
I went on a pretty fucking high note, and I want to
yeah.
come back on a high note.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Especially when you're returning to
So,
theaters.
and
And
maybe that's No Time to Die.
yeah, I'm kind of stoked. When's that come out again? Is that
Mm,
is it like holiday season?
let's see.
Like November or December?
I believe
Probably.
so. They usually come out what, November? Scheduled
I feel like James Bond films always kind of come out around that time, right?
for release on September 30th in the
Oh,
United Kingdom and October 8th in the United States.
oh shit! So October. Oh man, it's a lot
October
sooner
8th.
than I thought. Sweet.
Yes.
You know what? I will probably
Maybe
go
I'll take my
see.
dad for his birthday.
Oh, cool. Hey,
His birthday is the next day.
shit. You should. I mean, you should go see a movie with your dad, dude.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think.
that'd be sweet because you know what? He's who I saw my last movie in theaters with. That would
Oh,
really complete the
perfect.
circle.
Yeah, I think that'd
Love
be
that
really cool,
idea.
man. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
a. I think I'm gonna take a tip from you. I think I might watch that movie. Like, I mean, so far I've seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World in theaters as a re-release, as a 10-year, which was kind of cool. I never really got to see that movie in theaters, and then I saw Black Widow with Odalis, and that was cool. I mean, that was cool because like, oh, I love the Marvel movies, even though like, you know, love them or hate them. I'm just going just to have fun and see what
Totally.
happens. And it
I'm
is.
just sick of Marvel. I'm just,
I
like
feel you.
I don't want to be, but yeah.
I feel you. But yeah, that's the kind of last movie I saw, which was, man, that theater was fucking packed. So there's no holding back. I don't know how it is now with like the new regulations with the masks and stuff, but I'm
I don't know.
hoping. Yeah, I don't know, because like when I saw Scott Pilgrim, they like put us like 3 seats apart, or like 3 or 4 seats apart. So there was like less tickets being sold, and they're trying to do like social distancing. And then Black Widow was like, you're sitting next to like randos. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting next to anyone. So, uh,
You know what? I
very
already
interesting.
didn't really love that. The last several, like whenever we'd go to like a midnight show, there's just I like manners. I like politeness.
Yeah, man. Especially in the
I
movie theater.
like following theater etiquette. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, if I see your phone out during the preview, I'm gonna assume, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that you're gonna put that phone away when the lights dim even further and the actual movie begins. And if you don't, and if you don't stop talking to your buddy, if you know, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to be like, yo, please, we're paying fucking good money to sit in this. Like, don't ruin, you're ruining this for everyone. And especially me. I'm very pissed off right now. Don't do this. All through Joker, people were talking. Um, I had to tell someone two dudes were talking during the beginning of Captain Marvel. I had to tell them to be quiet. Old woman was talking to her friend at the beginning of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I had to tell her to be quiet. And then she called me a creep, and I was like, no, you're being awful.
You're being fucking
So
rude.
um yeah, Jesus.
Yeah,
um
dude. Yeah.
like,
No, I
and
get
like,
it.
aren't you from a time of like when people were respectful in the theater? Like,
Yeah.
anyway.
I think, yeah, maybe just people get so
Anyway.
used to maybe seeing movies at home, and like, I love seeing movies at home, and like, yeah, if I'm excited for something, I try to be as, quiet and calm, but like if I'm excited for something, yeah, hey, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. But, I try to read the room, you know what I mean? When you're with someone. But in a movie theater, it's like, yeah, you have your,
And there are moments.
yeah. I was gonna say in the movie theater,
Sorry,
yeah, there's like,
we're experiencing so much
oh,
lag right
dude.
now.
I'm just saying, in the movie theater, yeah, there's no excuse, man. They even tell you in the warning, or the message they give you, like, be respectful of people, make sure you're not talking or whatever, turn off your cell phones, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just we're a distracted society. We're just distracted people all the time, and we kind of lose some sight on that sometimes. And what's crazy, it's like, it's not even generational. I feel like it's, people older than us and people in our age and maybe people younger than us. Like, I feel like it's kind of covering all the grounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows, man. The movie theaters, I still am stoked, at least for the movies to be somewhat open, I guess. But
I am excited for that day. 2019 was a hell of a year to end on.
oh, for sure,
And
yeah.
and we, yeah, I'm looking forward to when things are back rolling steady.
Rolling deep, man.
It'll
Rolling
be
deep.
good. It'll be fine. Yeah. Right on. Jonathan,
Yes.
would you like to get to some lists, my friend?
Let's do it, dude. Do we want to
Let's
start?
do it.
Yeah. Do you want to start this time? That's up to you.
Would you like me to start?
Yeah. Do it, man. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
I'll do it.
It's like a 2-second delay. I'm
Jonathan.
sorry.
There is absolutely a 2-second delay. This is
It's crazy.
throwing me off so hard. But you know what? We are professionals. We are
doing
party
this.
professionals, and
We're
we're going to
doing
figure
this,
this
guys.
out. Fucking it. We're doing it live. Fucking it. We're doing it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Yikes. What's the percentage on this high noon, man?
Dude, they're pretty
It's
strong,
watermelon.
man. Yeah, they're
They're
like,
this is kind of knocked me on my butt a little bit here. All right. Jonathan, to kick off our video game extravaganza, we've probably done this list before, but god damn it, it's time to revisit it. What are your top 5 favorite Nintendo 64 games?
okay, I think I looked at my list from last time, and I think it's a little different from what I remember.
What
This-
episode was that? Because I didn't.
I cannot remember.
I'd be
I
curious to see.
remember I had my list. I had my list
Oh,
from last
okay.
time.
Gotcha.
So I have to hunt down what episode it is. But hey, this is the beauty of this show is we can come back and revisit lists because it's ever changing. I mean, I can the next day I can have a totally different opinion about my list that I made right the next day. So, um, man,
Sometimes in the moment.
sometimes in the moment. So I'm gonna start off with number 5. I've got Mario Kart 64. The OG Mario Kart for me. I mean, Mario Kart is. I mean, there's a few games on this list that I think obviously introduced me to multiplayer type games where you're playing, and that's multiplayer in the same room with your homies, with this multiple controllers connected to the same N64 system. And Mario 64 was one of those games that obviously it was so much fun to collaborate with or to play with other friends and um, it's it's just such a fun game. It takes the racing game to another level. There's weapons and all that kind of stuff. It obviously, it's using the flagship of a lot of Nintendo properties as far as using these Nintendo characters in the game and kind of seeing that kind of collaboration and oh wow, like you can play as these different characters from these different games that I know of Nintendo. And I maybe that early thought of like I've never really seen that before maybe in a game was like very fascinating. Maybe not at the time when I started playing it, but like when you think about it now, it's like damn, like that's crazy. Like yeah, they were able to take those different characters and put them into one game, and there weren't that many for 64. But I mean, it's fun, man. I still love like I mean, I wish I had my N64, and I just wish I had the ability to play it. I'm hoping there is. I mean, that's what's great about the new Mario Kart games on like the Switch and everything, because they bring back some of those old levels, which is really cool. And yeah, and then you get to, especially with a game like that, you get to learn the maps, and it's kind of the first times I got to like, oh, this track, you can play it like this, and there's like you find the kind of the best route you can go or technique or whatever. So that's my number 5, Mario Kart 64. Yeah.
Mario Kart 64 is a very good choice. Is that your favorite Mario Kart game in the series?
Man, I mean the last one
It was
that they
really
released
good.
was really good, and they did
Yeah.
everything that like. Like I don't know how they would release another Mario Kart game unless it would be like expansions to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just new maps and new characters.
Like they really solidified one capturing the feeling that you get like with Mario Kart, but also elevating the franchise and like introducing some new elements, but also
The
bringing it back
drifting
to
was
the
so good.
oh yeah, dude, drifting
So good.
like even the like gliding, the floating gliding powers and all that kind of stuff. Like that stuff, they do it so well. And of course, introducing some of those older maps, just of course, like that's the biggest payoff for like fans, where it's like, yo, we get to play these old courses. They even do like stuff where you can like reverse them and all that kind of stuff. So that one is my favorite one. I think this one is just being introduced to like racing games and, being able to, and maybe I don't know if I played um, outside of maybe Nintendo, like other racing games at that time when I first played Mario Kart. I don't know if it's the first racing game I played. Um, but like as far as a racing type game, it just like it always surpasses. I feel it's always so much more fun than compared to like I mean there are different types of like games, but like Gran Turismo, it's a different type of game. Like, but at the same time, you're having so much fun like racing, and you don't have to worry too much. I mean, you can do like I think in the newer one you can do like manual or automatic. Like you can kind of you could do like the gear changing and all that kind of stuff, but it just made it simple and fun, and I think that's what it really
Yeah.
nails all the time.
Arcadey.
Arcadey as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5. Um,
Good five.
number uh, number 4. I think this is one I didn't have on my list last time, but I added on there, and I think my dad was like, "How could you not have this uh, on here?" Because he played it like all the time. I have 1080 snowboarding, the snowboarding game, 1080.
That's a good pick.
This one is kind of arcadey too. It had like the different courses you had to play, and you had like like these kind of time. I think it was like time runs where you have to try to beat your time and all that kind of stuff. I think it's one of the first. I don't know if Mario Kart 64 did, but it's one of the first games I saw where you like do your top time like racing down the mountain, and then you had like a ghost. Like when you do it again, you try to beat like your ghost, and there's like you pretty much see your previous run that you did, and you can see the character like, and so you're kind of following him. So I thought that was super cool, and it made it feel like you're racing yourself, but you're like so determined to beat your final score or whatever. There were secret characters in there that you can earn. There was like this like you could do like a chrome guy. There was like a panda. There was like this like silver dude. I think there was even like a glass guy or something. I don't know. It was all these things, but it was so much fun. And then of course they had this like unique style of the character design. Like they had kind of like the trick shot guy, the guy who did all the tricks, the kind of more, they had, each character had a unique kind of set of skills and look. Like, so I thought that was really cool, very distinctive. And, I knew which character I liked the most, or like, that kind of thing. So, yeah, 1080 all the way, dude.
That's a great pick.
And they kind of nailed.
When I think of snow, I think about this game.
Exactly.
Or like, I think about the snow in this game.
I was just gonna say the like snow physics and like how they were able to like do that, and thinking about maybe because I played some other like snowboarding games like on PlayStation and whatever, and like it's just weird because you think like, man, there's elements from like I could believe that they would probably take elements from like the 1080 game, and like they've kind of kept them within some of these other like sports games or snowboarding games or whatever. So including, I would even say, because I think there is like a snowboarding game on Nintendo with the Mario characters. I don't know if that's in like Mario Party or like there's like a game where it's like Olympics for like Mario.
Like, yeah, like a Smash Brothers Olympics type, because isn't it like him and Sonic or something like that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like a thing like that, and I think they had snowboarding in there, and I was like, dude, I saw like
that's cool.
Thing of it.
That's very cool.
Anyways, 1080 for number 4. And funny enough, this all my picks are kind of like racing games. Funny enough, number 3 is Wave Racer, which I think was one of the earlier games I had for N64 as well. It was jet skiing, pretty much,
Nice.
in the game, and the physics were actually pretty freaking good too, man. Like you would jump off the ramp, you would bounce on the water. You had like a sense of drifting, I guess, because you could like drift in the water. You had like different players and different skill sets, so they were kind of introducing those elements that you see in a lot of the sports games now, where you have like stats and all that kind of stuff. The levels were pretty fun and cool, and they had a lot of interesting stuff for you to do, like laid out. It never got boring, I would say. Like each level had a very unique set of ramps or like a unique kind of course. It was a fun game, and I have the same feeling. I have the same feeling playing that game as like 1080. I feel like it's just so fun to race, maybe beat your high score. I think you can play multiplayer on that one too as well, and I think with 1080 as well. So that was kind of cool too. Like Nintendo at that time, especially with the Nintendo 64, was really pushing like you can play with your friends like next to you. And you can plug in, we have 4 ports to these controllers. You can plug this in and be able to play multiplayer. And I think that's something. I mean, I know these days it's the internet, right? Everyone plays multiplayer on the internet, and it's great. But there's just something very unique about playing games with your friends in the same room, right?
Everyone has pizza. All the fucking controllers the wires get all crossed.
Oh yeah,
like,
we're all like switching gears. Whoever lost gets to pass it on or whatever. Like, yeah. And I think that's now looking at my list, it's like shit. That's probably why I liked a lot of these games from the Nintendo 64, because they were multiplayer games. They were able. I was able to play with my younger brother, like Simon. I was able to play with him, or you play with Joey on some GoldenEye or something. Like, yeah, that's the best part about it. Leads me to my number 2, Mario 64. Probably one of my favorite Mario games, dude. It's still, I mean, it's the first kind of game that Mario went 3D. Man, it's got a unique, I mean, I remember all sorts of stuff. The soundtrack, the game design, the level design, and how it was, the unique way of platforming that got introduced. Like, we were so used to seeing Mario as a kind of 2D side scroller platform, and they took it to a whole nother level and, established like you can play platformers like this. I think it was the first game I had on N64, and I'm not saying that I had, because I think my dad bought the N64. And I remember my dad said, he's like, I bought the N64 for you guys, but I also bought N64 to play Mario. And I remember
Hell
my
yeah.
dad he did play that game, and I think that's the only other Mario game he played after the fact. But I've shown my dad, I think maybe Mario Galaxy or one of those other Mario games. I don't think he's seen the Odyssey one, but I was just like, yo, Dad, this is like Mario now, and it's still weirdly at the core of it has like Mario's like set of moves, like his crawling
Oh
and
yeah.
jumping, and that's what I've always liked about the Mario franchise. They always kept the kind of physics of the character and the move sets very much similar, and they maybe add one unique thing per game or whatever, like Mario Sunshine or the Odyssey, with the hat and everything like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I always felt that was great because it made you were so familiar with the character already, and it made it just so much more fun. So I always felt like it kind of started with Mario 64, where you kind of got used to these skills, kind of these move sets, the triple jump, the backflip, the side jump where you like go over and you shoot over and you can like side jump or whatever. Yeah, man, so it's so much fun. And then the Bowser battle was just like, man.
Fuck those Bowser battles.
They were tough,
Jesus. Man. They're so hard.
They were really tough.
So hard.
So, and then I think it's one of my earliest memories. I think of the Nintendo 64 gaming console. I had a Super Nintendo before, and only had a few games for it, but this was like the kind of new like gate into like, whoa, I like video games. Like this is fun.
Hell yeah.
So that's my number 2.
Right on.
And then, of course, number 1, I already mentioned it already. It's GoldenEye, bro. It has to be. It's my first kind of first-person shooter. A game I played, with you guys. I mean, it's a multiplayer game in its own way. It's a shame that game can never be remade as of right now because of like a rights issue or something. Right?
Isn't that also kind of awesome though?
It is kind of awesome, dude. Yeah, it that exclusive, like you can only play this on a freaking N64, man. Or if you find some sort of emulation of it.
Yeah.
But I've
and you can still get them.
And you could still get them, dude. I'm actually maybe I'll consider checking that out after this. But yeah, it's and then the game modes, man. Like they had, the man with the golden gun. Whoever has the golden gun is like kind of the main dude, and you get the one shot kill from that.
Yes.
You could do like your
odd job,
dude. There's like I think you could do custom. There was like custom game modes too. You can like do slappers only and all that kind of stuff.
Slappers, yeah. You can choose like explosives or not, or throwing knives.
It really varied the gameplay, and I think that's what made it so replayable as a multiplayer game, where you can just like set up and like, yeah, let's just do all explosives, like let's or maybe there's like I think you can even do like body armor type stuff where you can have like I think like more health or something like that. There's all sorts of stuff you could do with it, and then kind of introduced like some of those game modes that you kind of see in some shooters these days. So it was like a foundational game, I think, and maybe it's inspired. I sometimes hope to think that it inspired a lot of like game designers and people who are working like on Call of Duty now, or like some of these games, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I don't know, like there's just nothing that comes close to it. I mean, Call of Duty's cool. Like I don't play Call of Duty anymore these days. It's that's a different type of game, and there's different types of shooters now. There's like faster pace ones. There's kind of more, Fortnite. It's all like last man standing kind of thing. So you're more like kind of survivalist, I would say. But GoldenEye was just straight up like, let's just find each other and shoot each other, pretty much. So, and the levels were dope, always. Yeah.
GoldenEye is Oh, very, very dope. But I mean, Goldeneye is explicitly tied to that time that we were just talking about, the time in the bedroom with your five, six other friends around a box of pizza, soda, red vines, and you're all just taking turns fighting each other. And like, yeah, Mario Kart, sure, but I don't know. GoldenEye is the one that really sticks out in my mind as like the party game, the one where like, you know, you wake up at 2 in the morning and your two buddies are still playing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um,
The replay
yeah,
value on it
GoldenEye,
is
and
so
that's to
high.
say nothing of the single player.
Oh yeah, the single player game was
The
fucking
only
awesome.
thing that would make GoldenEye better if you could play bots in the
Oh,
multiplayer mode, which you can't do.
it's
But if
like
you
Nightfire,
could,
right?
then it would really be Nightfire. You
Yeah.
can, yes, and I
Yeah.
think you can in The World Is Not Enough as well.
Man. See, I'm looking for a game like that. Hopefully they do. I mean, I know they've released a few James Bond titled games. I think aren't they working on one right now? A James Bond
I
game?
don't know. The franchise has been pretty dead for
Yeah.
a long time now. I just watched like been watching a lot of YouTube documentaries on video games,
Oh, cool.
and yeah, I want to say that that one's been gone for a little bit. They tried to revive it around like Skyfall, or there was going to be like a Skyfall centric level. It was like a game that went through the all like the different eras of James Bond, but you played as Daniel Craig through all of them, and it
Whoa.
apparently did terribly. It was not a good game.
Oh, I see. Man, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there are like people. There's like you played like Hitman. I mean, I know it's a different game, but like there's like stuff like Hitman
Hitman's
or
very different.
it's very different for sure. I feel like there can be a James Bond game that could live up to the expectations, I guess, but maybe a lot of people are, you
Should it
know,
be first person?
that's true. Because there have been first person, there have been third person James Bond games, right? I feel like they have. I've seen
Yeah.
one.
Was it Everything or Nothing? Everything or Nothing, I think, was a third person. That was very good. And I think Heidi Klum was like, excuse me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the Bond girl. Like,
yeah.
and
Shit.
there was From Russia with Love, although I never played it. I hear very good things about that game though.
Yeah, dude, I might have to look that up. I can't remember what system that was released on. Was that a
GameCube,
GameCube game?
PS2.
Yeah. See, I'm
Yeah.
waiting for I know you don't have a Nintendo Switch, but I'm waiting for Nintendo, and I feel like this is where they're lacking a little bit on their. I love they have some of the NES games on there as part of their like online service, and I don't know if they're gonna. I think they rolled out a few Super Nintendo games, but I think they're lacking on like, dude, you got to try to re-release some of these N64 games
I
slash. But I bet you it's kind of the same deal with GoldenEye. I think it's like just all these like contractual like licensing deals and stuff that like maybe it just doesn't it cannot work for some of these
but
programs or
then
whatever.
it doesn't make sense if it's their exclusives, like the Nintendo branded content. If they're not releasing all, like, why isn't that entire Nintendo library available? Because I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever has.
You know what? This reminds
And
me
it's like
of.
you're just leaving money on the table.
I feel you, dude. Did you ever play Perfect Dark on N64?
I did. I didn't spend a lot of time with it. I should return to that game. I should try it.
It was made by the same people who did GoldenEye, right? Like Rare,
Yes.
whatever.
Rare. Yeah.
What's super crazy is
And I guess
oh shit, sorry.
it's our lag. Sorry. I was just gonna say I think the sequel to Perfect Dark turned into Halo, but I might be mistaken. I could be
Okay.
very, very wrong about that. But
I
it
don't
turned
know
into
about
something.
that, but I remember. So this was kind of cool. My brother has the new Xbox, and I didn't play on his system this last weekend. But when he got it, I think like the first weekend he got it, he's like, dude, Microsoft like has the Perfect Dark re-release on here. So I was like, yo, we should check this out. I was like, I wonder if there's a multiplayer mode, and there is. If you could do like, I think we were able to do 2 split screen, but I think you can do up to 4 split screen multiplayer. And they even had like a recreation of like the temple or the temple, yeah, the temple level,
Oh
and there's
shit.
another level from GoldenEye because I guess they are the same company that so they were able to get the rights to it or something. But it was super dope. It was so much fun, and although it's still because I'm playing on an Xbox controller, it still didn't feel that the same. But it was super cool, and I think maybe that might be the reality of maybe the GoldenEye re-release is like maybe it will be on like an Xbox exclusive because maybe the Microsoft has either owns Rareware or whatever, or if it's like I don't know, they might have better standing with that licensing. So yeah, it's a lot of complicated stuff with this
That's
video game
wild.
stuff, right? But I
I
don't know,
would love to
man.
see that. I would love to play that.
Honestly, if I play GoldenEye, I'm gonna buy a N64 online and just boot that shit up. Hopefully, my TV can
Well, I
play
think
it.
you're gonna need to buy an N64 to play GoldenEye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's adapters. There's
Those
adapters.
adapters, right?
Well, that's a
Anyways,
really good
Joey.
list, Shawnee. Very good list.
Thanks, man. Thanks. What is your top 5
Yeah.
N64 games, dude? I'm so super curious about this one.
This was difficult. I'm not go GoldenEye and Mario 64 would absolutely be in my list. I'm going to take them out for the sake of keeping things fresh, so we can talk about as many games as possible. Um, Number 5. This is kind of. I wonder who remembers this game. Body Harvest. Remember Body Harvest?
I don't remember this one. Please
You were
explain.
like this. You were like this space dude. You kind of looked almost like Halo, and you could like. It was this like I think it's Earth. Yeah, it's planet Earth, and it's like overtaken by like giant like bugs and stuff. And you run around and you shoot them, and you can get in cars and drive around and like go into buildings and
What?
like yeah, like it was like this open world thing, and it was violent, and a few months ago, I'm watching a documentary on the making of Grand Theft Auto
Okay.
series, and I think that team made Body Harvest. I believe that was the connection. Like, and then they went on to make Grand Theft
Oh,
Auto 3. Um, so that was kind of cool.
that's
And I
cool.
always liked that game. Like it was kind of mindless. It was just kind of shooting and driving around and like, but it was fun. It was a good time. And it was like eerie. The music was kind of very eerie. And it was like there weren't a lot of people left alive, and it was
Whoa.
good.
I'm gonna have to
But
look
you
up
like
some
ran into
footage of
like
this.
townspeople and like would talk to people. It was great. Um, Number 4, Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, I remember this game. Yeah, dude.
Now,
Oh
what was
man.
really, really cool about Pokemon Stadium? First, obviously it's taking the card game and like making it a video game. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same concept and everything. But then there's all the mini games. And the mini games were all really great, like running around and eating the food and I don't know, doing, using, trying to like charge up really fast as Pikachu, using all the different powers and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, the really, really fucking cool thing about Pokemon Stadium was that the N64 controller had an adapter in it, and you could put a save thing there. You didn't really need a save a memory card for the N64. Most of things could be saved on cartridge. As the system got older, more games needed a memory card. But you could put a Rumble Pack in there. But Nintendo, because they own Pokemon, because they have the resources and they love innovation, um, and they love synergy, made this attachment to the N64 controller where you could take your Game Boy Pokemon, and these are the first ones, blue, red, and yellow.
Yep.
You could slide that in, and all of your data, all the Pokemon that you caught in that game, you could use in fights, in the stadium and
It's
in
so
battles.
wild to
It
think
was the
about that.
coolest fucking
It's so
thing.
cool, right?
Holy shit. Um, wow.
Yeah. That's like
Yeah,
very
I mean, come
ahead of
on.
its time, right? Like
That's so like just brilliant.
genius.
Just
Yeah.
and like Pokemon was the hottest fucking thing.
Dude. Yes.
Like what was that craze? I mean, it's still going, but like it's like Power Rangers is still going. Like, but you know what I mean? Like we were there for the craze of it.
Oh yeah. The
Um,
cards, I mean, yeah, all of that, dude. The
Cards were
games.
fucking big time. We all like took the day off school to go see the movie,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
In the end, where Ash dies, and then all the Pokemon cry, and all their tears like form a circle around Ash and bring him back to life. It's the craziest shit in the world. Um, Pokemon Stadium,
Damn,
number
good
4.
throwback there. Yeah.
Uh, thank you, thank you. Number 3. Hmm. Like 2 and 3 could almost be kind of interchangeable.
Okay. Okay.
Number 3, I'm gonna go NFL Blitz.
Oh yeah, Blitz, dude.
Um,
Oh
kind
man.
of how you were
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, kind of how you were talking about like Mario Kart 64, how it kind of takes the concept of racing and makes it very simple. That, and it kind of makes it arcadey. That was NFL Blitz with football. You know what I mean? Like less players a team. It was rough. It was physical, and you could do these insane throws down the entire length of the field, and like the sounds were funny. Guys were
Yeah.
ugh. It
Yeah.
was such a great, and you could like jump on players like after they were already down. What a fun fucking game. And that was a good like quick one, like in terms of multiplayer kind of.
Yeah.
You couldn't play NFL Blitz all night, but you could throw that on for like 20 minutes, half hour, and like you had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then back to GoldenEye. um but yeah, I love NFL Blitz.
Oh man, Blitz. I
It's
just
so
remember
much
being.
fun.
I just remember like you could tackle. It's just like ridiculous tackling moves, like
Ridiculous.
all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I like that
Yeah, I
one.
wish they'd bring back Gold or Blitz, and I wish they would bring back NBA Volume 2 and
Oh,
NBA
okay.
Street
Street. Yeah, Street.
Volume 2. I would love to play that game again on an
Ooh,
upgraded console.
man.
Number 2, I'm going to go Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Ooh, do I remember this one? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. Star Wars.
It was like in the early days of the N64, and the cartridge has a stormtrooper shooting at you.
Oh yeah,
You play as Dash Rendar.
that's right. Yeah.
It takes place between Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And God, there's so much cool shit in this game. So much. Like it opens with the snow speed attack in Hoth from Empire.
That's right. Okay.
And you can like actually do the tow cable onto the AT-AT and like spin around
Dude,
and
that's so cool.
cause them to fucking fall and crumble just like the movie. And that's a great section. The third person like running around, jumping and shooting things is fun. It's not always like the physics aren't always great. He kind of like hangs in the air a little too long, but it's fine. It's fun. All the classic Star Wars sounds, and music. There's a level where you're on a speeder bike in Tatooine, and it's just fucking
That's
crazy
cool.
fast and
So you're like trying different
fun.
vehicles
And
out. Like you're able to do all
it's
that.
yeah,
Kind of
there's
stuff.
space battles. Yeah, there's a really fun level like on a train, like a space train. Like it's it's a very very cool game.
Damn,
Very cool game.
the concept sounds so for that time. It just sounds so like just big. Like you wouldn't think like these games.
Yeah.
Especially for like the kind of the first like 3D kind of gaming. Like that's a new thing. And a lot of these a lot of these games
Yeah.
kind of were. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but yeah, they were very,
Ambitious.
ambitious. Yes, ambitious for at the time. So just even you describing that, I was like, damn, you're able to do all that in a game, like an early Star Wars game, dude. That's
It's
so
fucking
crazy.
cool. Yeah. Yeah. But that leaves me with my number 1, which you want to talk ambition.
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Conquers Bad Fur Day.
Yes, Conker's
Dude,
Bad
it
Fur
has to be.
Day
It
is
has
my
to be,
all-time
man.
favorite N64 game. I mean, yeah, this game, let's be real, it kind of helped shape my sense of humor for worse. I fucking love Conker. I mean, your Rare was getting sick and tired of making these cutesy platformers, and they were making yet another one. And so what did they do? They decided, fuck it, let's be dirty and like just making a really adult oriented game. And like the humor is, I mean, this is a 20-year-old game. It would not work today. You cannot make this game today. Um, the creator has even been like, yeah, I kind of regret some of the humor in Conker's Bad Fur Day. Um, but like for the time, like this was every 13, 14 year old boy's like you you this is gonna sound terrible. You bounce on the boobs of a giant sunflower, and she like
Yeah.
it's like a trampoline, and then you get money, and the money curses at you, you greedy bastard. Um, you have to like hit a caveman in the nuts. Um, there's references to Eyes Wide Shut and Saving Private Ryan,
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of like kind
um,
of those commentaries on things. That's pretty cool.
yeah, Clockwork Orange. There's a sequence where you roll poo. You're in like a dung beetles area, and you're just rolling poo up a hill,
Yeah, I remember that.
and
Oh my god.
you're just rolling poo up a hill, and then you have to fight a giant talking, singing shit,
Shit,
and he has
right?
corn
Yeah.
for teeth.
Yeah, I
Yes.
remember that.
I am the great mighty Pooh, and I'm
Yeah.
going to throw
Yeah,
my
that's right.
shit
There's
at
musical
you.
numbers throughout the
Yes.
whole thing too.
And it's
So,
yes, it is so invented. Only two guys did all the voices for it. It's incredible. And the amount of sound and voice work that they were able to fit on this cartridge and the graphic fidelity is just insane. It's a gorgeous looking game. It's a funny fucking game. And it's a fun game to play. It's a great platformer. And then it has fucking multiplayer, and the multiplayer is
oh
really good
yeah,
too.
that's
It's
right.
it's varied. um
Did they have like oh, was
you
it
know
like capture the flag or something like that, right? In the like that
they
kind
had
of game
like a
mode.
capture the flag. It was like a bank heist.
Yeah.
Well, they had that. They had like you could race on like these hoverboards through lava. There was one where you're like the evil teddies trying to shoot. So if you were the teddies, you were trying to shoot these squirrel refugees that were trying to get from one end of the map to the other end, and then they would like get to safety. So one
Okay.
person played as the squirrel, one person played as the guy trying to shoot the squirrel. It was such a weird fucking funny game. There's never been anything else like it as far as I know, and like there won't be anything like it again because you can't get away with that today.
Yeah. I was about to say, have
um,
they ever like tried to remake it or?
there was Conquer Live and Reloaded on Xbox or Xbox 360. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm not an Xbox guy. I've never had an Xbox. So but like the same game, but I guess updated graphics, and then they switched out the frying pan for like a baseball bat, which sucks.
Okay. I see. I see.
And yeah, that's
Dude,
all she wrote.
man, I remember you playing that game. Like I watched you play that game, and then we played some of the kind of multiplayer games that they had. Yeah, it was very maybe at the time I didn't realize, oh, this is kind of dirty. Like this is, but I remember the singing poo
It's
guy.
very dirty. It's very dark.
It's very
Yes.
dark.
Yeah.
And then there was like there was
The
like a
Great Mighty
Clockwork
Pooh.
Orange reference in there, and I finally caught that like
Yeah.
way later on, but um yeah, that's again ambitious like for its time. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
yeah, I don't. But do people make games like that as like as risque?
Not at that quality, not with that much money behind it. Not on
Yeah,
Nintendo. Not on Nintendo.
yeah, for
Nintendo was
sure.
pissed.
Oh yeah,
Nintendo was pissed.
damn, that's interesting. I maybe I'll ask my brother because I don't know if they're doing like ports like where they re-release it. I guess so you kind of can play an old game on Xbox, but I'm gonna ask my brother and see if there's any Conker's Bad Fur Day floating around in the store there because that would be
He should
crazy.
play it. He should absolutely play it. Yeah.
Man,
It's a
good
good time.
good list, dude.
Yes.
I was like I was like I
Thank you.
figured since you haven't gotten to it, I was like, oh man, it's probably Conker's Bad Fur Day because like that game. I would say aside from maybe like playing GoldenEye with you, that was the game I remember the most. Like you like if we were in the same room together or at your house, that was the game I feel Conker's
Yeah.
Bad Fur Day. So
Yeah.
a lot of memories attached
Fucking
to that
game.
one, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Holy
Dude.
shit.
Now
Me
I need
too.
to just find an N64 and get one, and maybe I'll see see if I can find these games laying around. I don't even know, like,
Hell
is
yeah.
it? I mean, are they Are they worth
No, they're
much?
like $40,
Damn, that's crazy.
40, $50.
Oh, they're worth
I'll look it up
more
right
more
now.
to me than that for sure. Um, yeah, I like that. Sorry, if anyone's watching us, sorry if our stream's a little unstable. It's just
We're
internet's going a
unstable.
little.
That's the reason.
Yeah, internet's just kind of crazy right now. Upgraded my internet soon though, so we'll hopefully that will help out a little bit. But thanks
Yes.
anyone who's watching. All right, Joe. Here's my list for you
All right.
today.
I'm ready for it.
Uh, we're on a video game kind of theme night. So, what are your top 5 video game villains? Your
My
top
top
5 big
five.
villains in the video games.
See, this was tough. I was trying not to uh, confuse villain with boss battle, which we should do a top 5 boss battles soon.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, that's a fucking good one too. Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Um, number 5. I'm gonna go with. Do you remember the Spider-Man game, the first Spider-Man game
I
on for
do.
PS1 and N64?
Yeah, that had
The
actually
last level,
multiple villains, right? From the
it had a lot of villains in it.
okay.
And then it turned out at the end of the game that Doc Ock and Carnage were behind everything. And the last level, Carnage overtakes Doc Ock, so he becomes Monster Ock, and he chases you out of the building, and you've got to like web swing out. Monster Ock, he was terrifying, and he was fast, and he was strong. Like, like Doc Ock is already a very formidable foe because of his extra limbs, and then you add Carnage on top of that.
Oh
Forget
yeah,
about it.
that's scary.
Yeah,
Damn. Okay.
Monster Ock.
I kind of want to start this up now too because I want to see this.
Very scary guy. Very scary guy.
Fuck.
Number 4, Dr. Dr. Robotnik.
Oh yeah, dude.
What the fuck did I say? Dr. Reboot. That was a Canadian slip. Dr. Robotnik. He doesn't really get his due, and when he does, he's done not so great. In the original games, he's just this like fucking ugly short fat guy
Yeah.
with a wild mustache. And then they've done him in different ways. He was in the comics. So like I don't know, he's more characterized than like say like at least to me, than like a Bowser or something like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he has more character. And yeah, and I always found like those early Sonic games are right up there with the early Mario games, the 2Ds.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of quality and gameplay, and he's such a great villain. And where you got to throw things at Bowser or throw Bowser. In these games, you're actually jumping up and like hitting him and stomping on him. You know what I mean? Like it's a good time. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik.
Robot man with the classic Sonic.
Yes. Number 3. This is the one where it was like, oh, is this villains or boss battles? Because if we're counting down our top 5 boss battles, it would be Mr. Freeze. But top 5 villains, it would have to be the Joker from the Arkham series, because he's really the big bad behind all 3
Yeah, all
games.
those games. Yeah.
He's not alive in Arkham Knight, but he haunts Batman the entire game. He's in the entire game with Batman, just fucking with his psyche, and I love that, and it's brilliant. And Batman's fighting him internally as he's fighting the exterior threat. So it's, I don't know. And Mark Hamill does a really slightly darker take on Joker than he did in the animated series. It's Kevin Conroy as Batman. And the first 2 are very good Batman stories. The third one,
I don't think I finished the third one, but I still really love Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight. I mean, those are my favorite of that series for sure.
Arkham City.
Or Arkham City,
Yeah.
sorry, Arkham City. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Arkham City's just, I love that game.
It's such a good game.
That game.
I actually
love
still
that
have
game.
my I have my PlayStation 3 hooked up in the living room now.
Hell yeah.
And I think actually in my little insert or my disc tray, I still have Arkham City sitting there because I'm probably gonna end up playing that game if I boot that thing up.
On the PS4, I think right now the PS Plus, you can get all three of them for like $12 or something like that.
What?
Yeah,
Are they
on
like
PS4. Yeah,
remaster, or is it just kind of like you could just play them on?
the
Oh
remasters.
shit! Really?
Yep,
Ooh, I know what I'm
yep,
doing because I
yeah.
haven't bought a game in a minute. So, oh, okay, you just piqued my
You know,
interest there.
I I'm gonna save it for share time. It's my share time. We'll talk about it later.
Okay,
But yes, the Arkham games, Joker.
Joker.
Number two, a game that was previously talked about. Excuse me. Um, GoldenEye, not Trevelyan, because really all you do is chase Trevelyan. You know what I mean? You shoot at him, but it's not until he decides to go down that can you really defeat him. And I think the harder boss battle or whatever is against Xenia Onatop in the jungle.
Oh yeah, because does she
She
have like
is
rocket
difficult.
launchers and stuff or something like that?
She's got a
or-
rocket launcher and she's got like an Uzi or something.
Yeah,
So it's just, or it's an AK assault, I think.
yeah, yeah.
So she's just and 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 it's wild. She is so difficult, and she was so tough as a kid. Yeah,
Damn.
I love that fight though. It's a good time, and it's scary. Like as a gamer, I'm on edge.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I
on
mean?
edge for that fight for sure.
That whole time. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I remember that being very difficult. I think I died many times before I beat that.
Many times I died. Yes. Number one.
I'm kind of curious now.
Villain. He's more of the number one video game asshole. Eric from Tony Hawk Underground.
Oh, dude.
Eric is
Yes.
such a piece of shit best friend. He betrays you at every moment in the story.
Yeah, you're right, dude.
And he's whining and he's sniveling. Eric sucks. Eric fucking sucks. And he's always double crossing you and stabbing your back and like using you. He's such an asshole. Yeah, fuck Eric.
Fuck Eric. Yeah.
Fuck Eric.
Yeah, you know what? That's a surprise to me. I was like, damn, that's a deep pull right there. But I remember playing that game, and yeah, he was the most frustrating part about that game, for sure. And he was just,
Whenever I think back to him, I tense up and I get fucking fuck him,
rage, man.
fuck him. Yeah.
Nice. I like that list. I
Yeah,
was
thank
surprised
you.
about your number one. I was thinking it might have been the Joker, but I was like, I could see that.
Honestly, Eric was the first one that came into mind, and then I was like, yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
this is right.
true.
This is
villain
good.
right there, dude. I like it, dude. Man, I might have
Thank
to.
you. I'm very curious to hear yours.
I'm like really kind of stoked to like check out some games after this. Honestly, see I haven't browsed the
Hell
PS
yeah.
Network in a minute, so. Yeah, mine it's a mixture of all sorts of stuff. I don't know if you ever played the Assassin's Creed games, Joey, but there is.
I
there-
played 3.
Oh, okay.
Were you Revolutionary War?
Yeah,
3?
I think that was
That
the
3?
the third one.
Yeah.
I honestly liked the first like 3, and they just kept making them every year, and I was like, dude, I can't keep up with this.
Pumping them
anymore,
out.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but number 5 is Rodrigo Borgia, which was Pope Alexander, and I think it's actually based on this is like an actual real dude it was based off of.
Oh, Bourgeois or whatever. Yeah.
Bourgeois. But
We're not cultured. We're not cultured.
Yeah, but they he's kind of is a pope, obviously a public figure, but also becomes the kind of face of the Templars and the people against the assassins. So, and of course, a lot of evil doings with that, especially as far as someone who's part of the church and stuff. I always thought I think Assassin's Creed 2 is probably my favorite out of that series. So this villain stuck around. I would say like it was most memorable throughout the series or throughout that game. And when you have someone who is idolized and is looked upon as a figure of reverence and stuff like that, but turns out to be someone who's totally not good at all. So it was this interesting thing, and then of course I love the whole kind of Templars versus the assassins, like that whole thing with the series. So yeah, he just kind of stuck, I think, for me. Like, just I remember that villain in the game mostly, and he was pretty evil. So yeah, number 5, Pope Alexander.
Right on, man. Hell yeah.
Random. Let's see here. Number 4. I was not gonna put him on the list, but I was like, you know what? It is kind of a classic villain for me, I guess, with the Mario series. It's Bowser. I mean, there are a lot of other villains in Mario, but Bowser, mentioning and the Mario 64 game, it's all those boss battles, but Bowser was always the one stealing your girl. He was always messing things up. And he's always been the culprit for screwing things over.
While he does it.
Yeah, and he's always laughing and shit. So, and weirdly enough, on Smash Brothers,
He's just mean.
He's a mean guy. On Smash Brothers, I've been getting used to playing with Bowser. So, yeah, Bowser for
He's
number.
a good. I like playing as him.
Dude, he has that move,
the
where,
little shell roll or whatever.
Yeah, that move, and then his up B move, where he's doing his spin thing, I think.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I've heard you can also knock people off just the side stage because of those certain moves. He's just so big that you can kind of do all that kind of stuff. Anyways, Bowser for number 4. Number 3. These are all random games. Andrew Ryan from the BioShock series. I had to do another deep dive on Andrew Ryan because he's throughout the BioShock series. There's only I think 3 games, and then I think there's some side games they have, spin-off games. But BioShock, if you haven't played those games, Joey, there's a main kind of city, this kind of futuristic metropolis city, kind of called Rapture, and Andrew Ryan was the creator of this city. And it's kind of crazy when you read the bio on this dude, because it's he intended to build the city for innovators and artists and all this stuff, but he ended up becoming the what do you call it? What's the saying? He pretty much turned on his own kind of ideals and kind of visions for what the future would be like in as far as a city, and people coming together to explore art and all this kind of stuff. And it, the city of Rapture, when you play the games, is this torn up city. It's kind of like a not a ghost city, but it used to be a city of promise and all this kind of stuff. But his ego and his wrongdoings and he pretty much caved in and pretty much destroyed the city, even though he was as he created it, kind of thing. So it's a pretty heavy there's a lot of very heavy stuff with his character, and you get to find out more about him throughout the series. There's tapes that you pick up, and you kind of understand what Rapture was, and who lived there, and what kind of people were there, and then how it became this kind of pretty much dumping ground for all sorts of villains and scoundrels and people robbing you. It's all sorts of stuff. It's like the Wild Wild West in the city. So it became this kind of his creation just became what he didn't, what he stood against, that kind of that thing. So I always thought his that character, even though he's not a main character in the you're not playing as him, or you're not, but he's just throughout the series, and you kind of get a gist for who this person was, and I guess the longing and lasting consequences that you're playing. Pretty much, you're in the city trying to figure out clues and figure out what happened there. Super random, nice. But I really like the BioShock series is one of my favorite kind of trilogy series. I
think I played Infinite.
Infinite was pretty cool. Definitely hit up, I think it's the first BioShock game, because they go into Rapture, and then the Infinite, it's weird because they tie them all together. They do this weird multiverse kind of explanation where there are different versions of the Rapture City, from what I remember. Like, by the end of that game, you're like, it's kind of crazy. You start at this lighthouse. I don't know if you remember, but you start at this lighthouse, and like near the end of the game, you like pan over and there's like multiple like infinite lighthouses. So they're trying to explain to you like they're just, no matter what you do, like they're all obviously going to be infinite versions of like the city and what's going to happen in the city, and like the, you know, the endless torturous stuff that's going to happen or whatever. Yeah, it gets super weird at the end. Anyways, number one, you've already said it. It's Joker.
Whoa.
Oh, did I miss it? Oh, no. Sorry. Number two. This is, I mean, I guess it's kind of a boss battle, but kind of like Xenia, this one caught me a little bit. Like, it really freaked me out, and it made me work really hard at the game, for sure. So this game is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which was on, I believe, PlayStation 2. And it's the character has multiple names. The character is called The End, or the Old Man Sniper. It's pretty much this sniper. He's like 100 years old, and there's literally a point in the game where you just walk into an area and you just get like sniped out of nowhere, and you end up being like the hunter and the prey kind of thing. Like you're pretty much like, you're aware that there's someone hunting you, and like kind of Most Dangerous Game style. And so you have to like move around the forest, and you know, in Metal Gear Solid you can do like camouflage and all that kind of stuff, and it really gets you on edge, because you're like, I'm looking for like a person who's sniped me out in this big forest area, and you have to use all your kind of like survivalist skills that you learn throughout the first part of the game. And it's crazy, because when you get to the point, and I think you do have a sniper at that moment too, so you're like both having like a sniper battle with each other. And it's crazy, because I remember one point where I was like looking through my scope, and I saw the dude's like, the old man, his face, and I was like, oh man, I'm so close to getting this guy. And then, you know, he does one of those quick things where he's like, I know that's you, and he like moves off to another location. So it was like one of my first experiences with like, I don't know how to explain it, but because we've all done sniping like shooter games and stuff like that. But there's just something about like being hunted in a game, and the like character,
I think I've discovered a new kink of yours.
Yeah. So, but I think it's, the and how, like, I guess how intelligent they made the character, to the point where it's like he knew like all your moves, and like maybe a specific place you went to, like an area you went to, he like found a way to seal it off somehow, or maybe he laid out traps or something like that. So it was like all sorts of stuff that like, you're like, damn, this guy is like pretty smart, I have to outsmart him kind of deal. And I just thought he was kind of one of the most challenging villains I've kind of run into. And I think I would maybe consider him more of a boss, but he is part of a bigger like kind of villainous group within the games. He does have a boss though. He has someone, he's obviously underneath someone. But yeah, I guess the Old Man Sniper would be that one from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Very nice.
And then one, Joker, Arkham series. I mean, he's just one of my favorite parts about that game. I mean, it's awesome being Batman, gadgets, doing all sorts of shit, Arkham City, flying around. Yeah, all that shit's cool, but the kind of cat and mouse feel with the Joker character. Although I gotta say, I still liked some of the other villains too, like the Riddler challenges. I thought it was a very smart way to introduce the Riddler, and how you're able to kind of traverse the city, and
there need to be as many of them. But yes,
yeah,
I really liked it too.
You're right. But yeah, the Joker is, the Mark Hamill voicing the Joker, like, it's just so good, dude. Like, that was like the perfect voice casting for that game. If they didn't have those two, Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, if they didn't have them two doing that, I don't know if I would enjoy it. Weirdly enough, I don't know if I would enjoy the games as much.
I don't know that I would either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there we go. That's my 5. There's probably more villains out there, but those are kind of the 5 that come to mind to me. So
that's a very good 5.
Thanks,
Sean.
dude.
It's a very good 5.
Thank you. I want to play video games after this now, dude.
I know, right?
I'm kind of itching for it now.
Me and
What's the
Lise got
last? Yeah, what's the last one you played?
Wind Waker HD on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Did that just release, or has that been out for a minute?
No, this is this is
Yeah.
Wii U.
Oh,
I
okay.
busted out the Wii U to do it.
Ooh,
So this is years and years and years ago. Yeah, awesome though.
dude.
I loved that game when it first came out.
I think I remember you playing it. It was
Um,
on GameCube, right? Was it on GameCube?
GameCube, yeah,
Yeah. Damn, I kind of
yeah.
miss my GameCube
I
too.
pre-ordered it, and it came with a remaster of Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time like Master Quest or something.
Yo, that's
It was
super cool.
wild. It was very cool.
Damn. Okay. I have not really bought any games. There, it's funny though, because I've probably talked about this game on our podcast within the last 200 some episodes, but there was a game called No Man's Sky that came out in
Yes,
2016, and it was pretty
you
much,
were all about No Man's Sky.
dude, and it was kind of my similar experience with Cyberpunk. It was like failure on launch. Like it totally disappointed a lot of people, including myself. I stuck in there, and what's so crazy is I like, every now and then I look up, oh, what's going on with No Man's Sky, or if I see like a video on YouTube, it's like, oh shit, man, within like since 2016, since then, they've rolled out so many updates, and it's like a new game. It's insane. So I'm like kind of curious to try it out, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, like I kind of remember how to play the game, but I bet you there's so many new things that like I might have to relearn how to play, like
That's
start from
always
scratch
tough.
again.
That's always
Yeah,
tough.
because
Yeah.
I have stuff, I've collected stuff and all that kind of thing. So, but that's the kind of stuff I want to see, like for I mean, I know they were like Hello Games is a pretty small independent company. It's not like Cyberpunk where CD Projekt Red, they're quite a big company. I think they have enough people, I think, to make the games, but Hello Games was like really small. So I get it, like maybe it was a little too ambitious when they started, and but a lot of people, that was the whole debate on like what people are previewing and showing, as far as like game footage and like what's actually in the game. There's that whole thing that it sparked, like is this false advertising? Even like game reporters, people like on IGN, and like how they're presenting this stuff to us as like consumers, and like, oh yeah, that it's supposed to look like that, yeah, whatever. So but yeah, I mean, I'm not shit talk. I mean, I would say they redeemed themselves with that, because it just looks like a totally different game, and it looks like there's a lot of shit you can do in it. So I'm kind of curious to check it out. There's like all sorts of new stuff with it, and they actually even revamped the whole mission, like how to do missions in the game. Compared to like when I started, it was just kind of like you're just kind of going in this, I would not circle, but they gave you the illusion that you're doing stuff, but like they kind of had you go in circles. But there's actually like shit you can do in the game. So might check that out. I am kind of debating if I want to start a new profile and just be like, okay, I can just relearn the game, see how it works out. Maybe start it a different way, maybe kind of go a different direction with how I want to play the game. So might check
Hell
that
yeah.
out. So we'll see.
Well, hey. Well, hey.
We'll see.
Right on.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I'm going to segue into share time just because I have a video game centric share time.
Oh,
so
cool.
I figure that makes sense.
Let's do.
So PlayStation is having a very good sale right now if you're a PS Plus member. And I loved the Batman Telltale games. They're very story based. They do very different things with the lore but in a respectful way that I like.
Yeah.
I like this version of Batman. It's the most compassionate Batman that we've ever had since the animated series. But basically, I didn't have like the last 2 episodes of the second series. So there were 2 series.
Yeah.
The second one is The Enemy Within, and I only had the first 3. I didn't have the last 2. But they were having a sale where you get both games plus noir mode, where you can play it like in a black and white, but certain things are in color.
Okay.
For $7. So, which is like less than the cost of like one of the episodes. So I got both the new noir mode and the two last episodes that I needed, and I played that yesterday or the day before, and it was really cool. It was very fucking cool.
Dope. I know
Yes,
you've told me about the Telltale series. I gotta check that out, man. Because
yeah,
there's a lot. There's like, is it the same? So I know they did like the Walking Dead ones. Are they the same?
yes,
Like, is it the same
style.
companies or style, or are they
Hmm.
like? Okay,
So yeah, basically you're watching a story and then you make decisions.
gotcha. Yeah,
And there's like a couple fight things where like press up, press X. It's lame.
yeah,
Um, but the story is very good.
yeah.
And
It's
you're
well worth
like, you
the.
make certain decisions and they go, okay, Jim Gordon will remember that. Or your relationship with Catwoman has changed. And like,
I
and that
see.
affects the series going forward into the next
Yeah,
episode and everything. So it's infinitely replayable. And
yeah,
if it wasn't so long, I would replay it again. Um, which I'll do soon, but I'm in no rush. So
yeah. That's kind of
yeah.
cool, man. The replayability is always a big thing for me for games, and yeah, and then like choice based games. I've been kind of digging more of those lately because it's like, yeah, like whatever I choose right here is gonna really like change my relationship with this person in the game, or like my allegiance with this faction or whatever. I think that's a big
Yeah.
thing. Dude, that's kind of cool. I didn't I've been so out of the loop with the PlayStation PSN stuff, so I'm gonna have to check that out after this. Actually, see what else
Hell
is on
yeah.
there.
Right on.
If FIFA's on, I'm always like, dude, I'm kind of itching for like that FIFA,
Hell
kind
yeah.
of just playing some FIFA or something. So, um,
Italia.
yeah.
Jonathan, do you have anything you'd like to share with our dear, sweet, lovely imaginary audience this week?
I've got two. It's not video game, but I got two YouTube type things. Yeah, one of them is I've already mentioned I like reactions and stuff recently, but I found this cool reaction channel called Office Blokes React, and it's these three British blokes who I think probably work in the office, but on their off times they do reactions. And some of their stuff, like, I mean, I'm not too big into these videos. Sometimes they react to like, like most shocking, like,
Porn.
no, but like most shocking moments or like, videos where someone got like super lucky. You know what I mean? Like they're reacting to like another kind of heavy video or whatever. But the best ones are when they react to, for me personally, they react to like stand up comedy and like Chappelle Show and like like stuff from America. And it's like they're the three British blokes. So it's funny the commentary because they're like, oh, I kind of like hearing like these British dudes talk about stuff. But some of it's funny, and they're pretty laid back and they I think they all range in like age. Like there's an older gentleman that's in there, and then the two of them I think they're around the same age, a little bit older generation. But I just think it's funny because they're like, especially when they watch videos like about America, and then like oh yeah, they're, is it really like this in America? Like, but I don't know. Maybe it's like I'm just so interested in the British side of things, the British angle, I would say. But I think it's brilliant because it's like, dude, it's just three British dudes just watching some crazy shit. And especially when they start watching, like, because they've never seen like Chappelle shows, I'm like, dude, like, what do you guys think about this? Like, and or they watch like stand-up specials and like it's like, man, like it's yeah, it's interesting. It's there's only, for me, like I love reaction stuff, but like there's only so many types of reactions stuff I like. I can't really do like reacting to top 10 funniest videos of all. It's like, no, but that's just me. And then the other channel I have, I'm gonna say this wrong probably, but I don't know if I don't know if you've ever come across this channel because he's one of the highest subscribed channels. They consider this guy like he beat the algorithm of YouTube apparently earlier on. Verticium. Okay.
No.
It's I'm not weirdly into I'm not really into like a lot of sciencey stuff, but this guy, his name is Derek Alexander Mueller, and his channel, I'll try to send it to you, Joey.
Mueller.
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 Yeah, this guy Veritasium, he, I would say, takes filmmaking and his love for science and discovery and exploration and sticks them together. And he is one of the highest subscribed channels because all his videos that come out with are very interesting and very engaging, and he has a lot of factual stuff to say about certain things, and really says like this is where we're at, like in this kind of thing. And the last video I saw with him was about a company called Way. I just want to make sure I get this right. I think it's Waymore.
Aerotime.
Sorry, dude. So
Company is called Aerotime.
Aerotime. Okay, so he
Aerotime.
Aerotime. So this guy, his last video is he did a video on self-driving cars and kind of like what people think about him, statistics about obviously like are people ready for this shit, and then he actually takes throughout the whole video he takes a ride in there's a company, I don't know if you remember the Google self-driving car that was like going. That
Yes.
company ended up becoming this company called Waymo, and they have fully fledged.
I see them all the time.
Oh, the Waymos? Oh, you do?
They're all around my neighborhood. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's super cool, man.
Is
I'm
it?
ready for it, dude.
It's always a dude almost gonna hit me while I'm crossing the street. I'm like, no, aren't you supposed to be smart? Stay
Dude.
at the stop sign until I'm done crossing.
Dude, I'm not kidding, man. I think in the they said, I mean, I believe them. I think in the next 5 years we're all self-driving, dude. Fuck
Well,
it.
yeah.
I don't want to drive I don't want to drive anymore, man, and I don't want to be on the road with some crazy people cuz
But it's not gonna work like that. It's gonna be like
it's going to be slow.
it's gonna be 100 years before driving regular cars are like out of commission. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
going to take some
it's
time.
never gonna be 100% where, yeah.
It's going to take some time.
I don't think it'll be the majority in 5.
Dude, I don't know, man.
I think we'll start to see it become normal. I think we'll start to see it become normal very soon.
Normalized. I mean, yeah, I think in the next 5 years there'll be self-driving cars around for sure. I mean, but there already are, which is crazy.
Absolutely, yeah.
There
already are.
I don't know. I thought the video was really interesting. It talked about Waymo and what that company does. They're kind of a fleet of. It's almost like a taxi service kind of thing where they you can order a Waymo car and it's a self-driving car. Fully self-driving as far as you don't need a human assistant at the wheel, which is pretty fucking crazy. Because Tesla has that part of it in there, but you still have to be behind the wheel for that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I think his channels. I mean, he gives you some statistics. I think a lot of people. They said that a lot of people are ready for, I think, self-driving cars, and I've been kind of curious about it. My cousin Edwin, I remember he worked for a company that did like the sensors, like finding different ways to scan the environment, and that's pretty much how self-driving cars work. Is pretty much high-end scans every per second, being fed to the computer in the car. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's it's a good thing to think about, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense to have self-driving cars. The human error is the reason why people get killed on the road majority of the time. It's just like, and it was cool. He started the video off with he's like, oh, like when planes land, like that's all automated. Like that's never really a dude behind the, obviously there is a guy watching every moment of it and the controls and stuff, but majority of the time planes land themselves. Like but it's like, I think what you're saying is the discussion they were trying to have too is, how long will it take for it to be normalized? And then they give you certain situations where like, I didn't know that, I knew there's like automated pilot stuff for planes and stuff, but like, you're so used to it when you fly, you don't really question it anymore. Or like an elevator, there used to be an elevator bell person or whatever, right? And then there was a moment where people were scared when self elevators without a person in it were around. So it's like it's gonna take some time.
Stations.
Yeah, gas stations, all that kind of stuff. But it's weird because it eventually becomes just a normal part of our life. So, oh shit, I just switched us. Oop, my bad, dude. That's cool. I didn't know
Oh
I could do that.
no.
Yeah, so I just thought it was interesting. I know it's going to take a little bit longer for it to be fully accepted and self-driving cars everywhere in this world or whatever. But I do think it's going to be a lot sooner as far as people accepting it. And maybe, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, I think it's not about people accepting. It's just I think within that 5-year timeline, what we're going to see is every new model, like how every new model of car has the backup camera. Every new model is going to have the self-driving feature. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's going to
That's
come
what
in
it's going
waves.
to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I think so. With due time, I think. But I think that's where we're heading. And then, of course,
Oh yeah.
electric cars and stuff like that. So, but anyways,
Which
yeah,
is great. It's much safer probably.
yeah.
Once they get it down.
Once they get it down. Although it's funny, they pulled up a log of their Waymo stuff, and they're like, all the accidents have happened were because of the other human person.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
That's
that
true,
for a
dude.
fucking second.
That's true.
No.
Um,
Coming from Waymo,
I don't know. I don't know your experience with them,
question
guys,
everything. Question everything, I say.
but Skynet, dude. Anyways, aside from the Waymo stuff and self-driving cars, his channel is always very interesting. He's got a lot of cool videos on there. And
Yeah, who the fuck are we talking about?
Vertisurum.
I'm just
I think
kidding.
that's his name. But yeah, I think that's really cool. And I just watched a video on, because he gets the question like, how did you get into doing science YouTube kind of stuff? And that, he was pretty much a guy who studied like this kind of thing in school, and he also studied filmmaking, and he pursued that even further after he finished his sciences. So it's cool to see someone like aspire to be like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. I love film for a passion, or I love science for a passion, and you can kind of do both. And he's become one of the biggest people on YouTube. And as far as an educational route for YouTube too, because there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that's just for entertainment and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, his is a little bit of entertainment too, but it's just cool to learn something every now and then, while you're perusing YouTube or something like that, or the internet. So there you go.
Hardcore concur.
Hardcore.
Love learning. Love the learns.
Ooh, man,
Sean,
I am warm right now.
me.
I am
too. It's a
warm
warm
right
night.
here, dude.
It's a warm night. I like it. Jonathan, where can we find more of your work on the internet this week?
Find me on Instagram at SeanDayMusic. My website, SeanDayMusic.net.
Net.
N-E-T. Yeah, find me on there, guys. Yeah. Joey, where can we find you
Wonderful.
on the internet?
You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Joey Parati and on my website, joeyparati.com. You can check out the show at Top5Pod. That's TOPFIVE5POD on Instagram, on Twitter, at gmail.com, on YouTube. We're also on Anchor, Apple Music, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever you stream. Hopefully you can find us. If not, shoot us an email or tweet us. Text me if you have my number and be like, yo, the show's not up yet. And we will get back to you and we will get the show into your ears. Until next time, I'm Joey Parati.
And I'm Sean Day.
And next week, we won't have as much lag.
Thanks
for listening. This was painful.